Have you ever looked someone in the eyes, and then they looked away quickly, awkwardly, like you did something wrong? What if I told you? In some parts of the world, that same intense eye contact that you consider a sign of honesty and confidence might actually be seen as rude, challenging, or even disrespectful. This isn't just travel trivia. If you're a traveler, a leader, a lover, or simply human, this video could save you from your next social misstep. Welcome to the fascinating world of eye contact across cultures, where one simple glance can mean trust or trouble. Today, we're going on a global journey to uncover how different societies perceive eye contact and why something as small as a stare can build bridges or burn them. Let's start where most of us get our first eye contact rules: the West. In countries like the United States, Canada, Germany, France, and Australia, eye contact is not just normal, it's expected. It shows confidence. It signals sincerity. In interviews, it suggests you're trustworthy. In relationships, it can be intimate, magnetic, and even romantic. But there's a fine line. If you don't look someone in the eyes at all, you might be hiding something. But if you stare too hard, you're a threat, or just plain weird. Western societies often teach kids, look me in the eye when I'm talking to you. But in other cultures, this could backfire badly. Now let's head east, where eye contact means something entirely different. In Japan, China, South Korea, and much of Southeast Asia, eye contact is less direct, especially toward elders or authority figures. Looking someone directly in the eye can be interpreted as disrespect, or worse, an act of defiance. In Japan, for example, maintaining prolonged eye contact with a superior is seen as confrontational. Instead, people might look at your neck, forehead, or downward to show humility. Why? Because in Confucian-influenced cultures, social harmony is prized above individual expression. Staring can disrupt that harmony. It implies you're trying to dominate the interaction. Imagine an American business executive trying to make strong eye contact in a Tokyo boardroom, thinking he's nailing the deal. Meanwhile, his Japanese counterpart is thinking, why is he so aggressive? Why is eye contact such a big deal anyway? Well, neuroscience has a few answers. When we make eye contact, the amygdala, the brain's emotion center, activates. Eye contact increases dopamine, linked to attention and reward. Our heart rate can even rise. Fun fact, babies as young as 2 days old prefer to look at faces with direct eye contact. But here's the twist. In some brains, especially those conditioned by cultural norms, this eye contact can feel like too much stimulation, uncomfortable, overwhelming, even threatening. So while eye contact might build trust in one culture, it might flood the senses in another. Across many African and Middle Eastern cultures, eye contact rules often follow age and status hierarchies. For example, in parts of Nigeria, Ghana, or Ethiopia, it's considered rude or even disrespectful for a younger person to look an elder in the eyes for too long. Elders are respected. Young people look down, not because they're ashamed, but because they're honoring tradition. Similarly, in conservative Middle Eastern cultures, direct eye contact between men and women, especially strangers, is often discouraged. It can be misinterpreted as a romantic invitation or inappropriate gesture. Here, averting the gaze is not weakness, it's wisdom. Among many indigenous peoples, eye contact can be deeply tied to spiritual, communal, and emotional dynamics. In Australian Aboriginal communities, it's common for people to avoid eye contact as a sign of respect, especially when speaking to elders or during sacred storytelling. In some Native American groups, too much eye contact is seen as intrusive, a violation of personal space and privacy. Even in Arctic Inuit culture, long stares are considered unusual and possibly threatening. This isn't about fear. It's about a different kind of emotional intelligence, a nonverbal way of saying, I see you. I respect your space. So what happens when these eye contact rules collide? An American teacher in a Thai classroom might think a student is being dishonest for avoiding eye contact, when they're actually being respectful. A Nigerian child raised in London might get mixed messages, look me in the eye, at school, but don't stare at your elders, at home. Multicultural workplaces, families, and relationships are full of these subtle signals, where no one is trying to offend, but misunderstandings happen anyway. The key? Cultural humility. Learning that your way isn't the only way. That normal eye contact is really just local. So, how do you navigate all these rules? Here's your global eye contact survival guide. 1. In Western settings, maintain moderate eye contact. Don't stare. Don't avoid. 2. In East Asia, use softer, less direct gazes. Watch for status cues. 3. In Middle East, avoid strong eye contact with opposite sex unless familiar. 4. In Africa, show deference to elders by averting your eyes subtly. 5. In indigenous settings, read the room. Respect space. Listen more. When in doubt, observe. Mirror. Adapt. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul, but in truth, they're also mirrors of culture. Eye contact isn't universal. It's coded, embedded, shaped by centuries of history, belief, and behavior. So the next time someone avoids your gaze or stares a little too long, don't rush to judge. Instead, ask yourself, what story are their eyes trying to tell? In their language, not mine. If we learn to read those stories, we'll start seeing not just with our eyes, but with understanding. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe for more psychology-rich lessons from books, culture, and human behavior. Leave a comment. What's the eye contact rule in your culture? We'd love to learn from you.